And it was a Dalai Lama quote that the principal source of happiness is inner peace. Right? The true enemy is malice, hatred, and spite. So we come to our mat looking for some kind of peace, especially now with everything that's going on. 9 months into our virtual practice and going strong, and it looks like we got another couple of months in front of us, right? So we come to our mat, and sometimes we purposely put ourselves in a situation that's a little irritating, right? So we can learn how to breathe, how to move through that, how to allow those emotions to exist without getting all caught up in them. You know, we talked about self-judgment on Saturday's class, the story of the golden Buddha that was covered in clay. And when we judge ourselves, we dim our beautiful inner light. And so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about when we have these irritations in our life, how they're actually opportunities. And opportunities, it means something just isn't quite right. Something isn't working. And instead of trying to push it away or avoid it, can we look at it as an opportunity? Can I sit with it? That's a big part of our practice. Can I sit with this and maybe turn it into something else? And so the image of a pearl. Right? What is a pearl? It's a piece of sand that gets stuck in an oyster or a clam, right? It's an irritant. And then it turns into this beautiful gem. So in tonight's practice, we will do a couple of things that are just out of our ordinary practice. And there's the first smirk. Nothing crazy, right? Just changing the order of some stuff. And notice your reaction, right? It's a safe space here. We get to play with it. This is like our little sandbox. So let's just close the eyes and let the chin drop to the chest and take a few deep breaths and release any expectation of what you think that might look like. Because I promise you, it's not going to be anything crazy. And as we prepare for class, start to breathe into the belly. And as we exhale, squeeze the navel towards the spine. And let the day roll off with that exhalation, relaxing shoulders, relaxing jaw, little corners of the eyes. And from the belly, move that breath to the ribs. And exhale again. And then move into our Dirga 3-part breath. From the belly ribs all the way up to the collarbones, filling the torso with our prana, our life force. And as we exhale, scanning the body for any areas of tightness, tension. If you're working with an injury, please remember this is your practice. So feel free to modify or completely skip what we're doing. And I want to share a little poem as we prepare about that pearl and that oyster. There once was an oyster whose story I tell, who found that some sand had got into his shell. It was only a grain, but it gave him great pain, for oysters have feelings, although they're so plain. Now did he berate the harsh workings of fate that brought him to such a despicable state? No, he said to himself as he lay on his shell, since I cannot remove it, I shall try to improve it. And the small grain of sand that had bothered him so was a beautiful pearl, well richly aglow. Now the tale has a moral, for isn't it grand what an oyster can do with a morsel of sand? So taking a breath in, opening the mouth and sighing it out. And tonight for warm up, we're going to do it standing. So come to stand in the middle of the mat. And bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Soften the knees. Let the eyes gently close or soft gaze down at the floor. And just notice your reaction to that, right? We almost always start the class seated or down on the back, right? So tonight we're starting standing. And if there are any emotions attached to that, any irritations, just take a breath, turn up the corners of the mouth and smile and let it go. And then opening the eyes, separating the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Just start to take the arms and sweep the fingers out to the side and all the way up to the sky, taking a big breath in. And as you exhale, soften the knees and fold forward, letting the head drop down. And then reverse, pressing the feet into the floor as we inhale, rising back up. Let the hands meet in prayer and exhale the hands to the heart. Standing sun breaths. We're going to do a few more like that. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, taking a forward fold. Sweep the arms out as we inhale to come back up, hands meet in prayer, and down to the heart. One more. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, open the mouth, releasing the day with that exhalation. Sweep the arms as we rise. Let the hands come to the heart. Inhale, arms up. As we exhale, take that forward fold. Pause here. And bring the hands to the shins or the knees, maybe the thighs. And find a half lift. Lengthen, look up. And exhale, float the hands back down into that forward fold. 2 more times like that. Inhale, lengthen, nice long spine. Exhale, lower. Inhale, find that half lift. Pause here. Bring the hands to the thighs and bend the knees. Check out the feet there, like the number 11. We're going to pull the belly in, round the spine, coming into a standing cat, coming up just a bit, and then roll the shoulders down, lift the heart, and take a seat. And find these standing cat and cows, just gently moving the spine to flexion and extension. You don't want to push on the knees, so the hands are gently resting on the thighs. And the next time that we arch into cat, keep pressing the feet into the mat, chin to chest, and slowly let the body start to come up. And take the shoulders, roll them up towards the ears and down and back. And take a few big shoulder rolls here. Deepening the breath. Notice the stance. Is it comfortable, or would you like those feet a little bit further apart? And now we're going to start and roll the left shoulder up, down, and back. And then the right. And start to find this little side to side movement. Right, as we warm the body up. And then notice if it would feel good to bend the knees. Right, as the shoulder comes up and we sway to one side, bending that knee and straightening the opposite leg. And then from here, letting the movement start maybe with the elbow, right? Coming a little bit bigger. Or maybe you want to lift the arms. So a side to side. Bringing the whole body into this movement. And then start to slow that movement down, bringing the body back to center. Take a moment, bring the hand to the belly, hand to the heart, and breathe here. And even though the movement stopped, notice that the prana is still circulating in the body. Opening the eyes, bringing the hands to the hips, maybe taking the feet a little bit closer. Take the hips all the way out to the right and sweep that left arm up and over. Let the left hand stay either on the hip or maybe down at the thigh. Find out what would feel really good here. And watch the lower back, belly in, protecting the lower back. Breathe as we inhale and come up and switch right hand to the hips, slide the hips to the left. Left arm up and over to the right. Coming into a beautiful side stretch. Come through center and take that right arm up and over and pause here. We're going to stay on this side for a couple of breaths as we inhale, rising up, and exhale, coming back down. Breathing here. The next time the right fingers reach to the left and the hips slide to the right, pause here. Start to make big circles, circling those fingers down and behind you and up and over. If the shoulders are tight, you can bring the fingertips to the shoulders and notice if you're rushing through that movement. See if you can slow it down. And then circle in the other direction. Sweeping the fingers down and inhaling up. And the next time we inhale up, let it bring the body up and let that right hand come back to the hip. Pause for a breath in between. Notice the right side, notice the left side. And on the next exhale, slide those hips to the left, sweep the right arm up and over and pause here in the side stretch. Adjusting that right hand for support. And as we inhale, slowly coming up, noticing the sensation, and exhale, coming back in. So you adjust the pose, maybe not going in so deep, maybe bending the elbow. And the next time those left fingers reach all the way to the right, pause. Take a big breath and start to circle those fingers down and inhale up. Big sweeping circles. At some point where it feels good, circle the other way. And the next time those left fingers reach for the sky, let it bring the body back up and let the hand come back down to the hip. One more time, just pause. Breathing, feeling the left side and the right side. And taking the feet out a little bit wider, turning the toes out, bringing the hands to the thighs, bending the knees and the toes are going in the same direction as we come into a little squat and then come on back up. Do this a couple of times. Like maybe we keep the hands on the thighs. Or maybe the next time the legs straighten, the arms sweep up, cross in front. And as we exhale, float back down. And then we reverse in the other direction, coming in and out of our squats. The next time the knees bend, pause. Bend the elbows, bring the arms up and find goddess pose. Shift the weight into the heels and spread the toes. And then gently place them back down on the mat. As we inhale, come into five-pointed star. As we exhale, come into goddess. Take a breath, let the left forearm come to the thigh and reach up and over with the right. Back to goddess. Back to five-pointed star. That's our flow. Coming into goddess. From goddess, tilting over. Beautiful. Up through center, taking a breath. As we come into five-pointed star, exhale, goddess to the side bend. Beautiful. Inhale back to five-pointed star. Exhale, coming over. Love it. Two more times in each direction. Saying hello to those inner thighs. Come into five-pointed star. Let the palms come down to the thighs, bend the knees again. Take the left shoulder and bring it over towards the right side. Inhale up through center and take the right over towards the left. Come through center, take that left shoulder over, pause here, and we're gonna pulse. As we inhale, we rise through center. As we exhale, we drop the left shoulder towards the right knee. And two more times like that. Slow, long breaths. Then inhale to center and take the right shoulder cross to the left. Pulsing here, inhaling, unwinding. Exhale, right to the left. And 2 more times like that. And then inhale back to center. Let those legs straighten. Oh, bring the feet a little bit closer together and give them a little shake. Maybe find a block and place it just in the middle of the mat. Be at the high height or the medium height. Taking the feet nice and wide. Sweeping the arms above the head, taking a big breath. And as we exhale, take a forward fold. Let the hands come down to the block. Find that half lift that we had in the beginning of class, right? Lengthen, spine nice and long. Looking forward. And then take the tailbone and imagine that you're trying to tuck your tail between your legs. Right? That'll give you a little more length in the spine. As we exhale, release the head back down towards the floor. Inhale, find that half lift. Keeping the left hand on the block, sweep the right arm shoulder height, and then bend into that right knee. Breathing. Straightening that right leg, letting the right hand come down. Take a breath, sweep the left arm in just to shoulder height and bend the left knee. Let's come on back through center. Left hand down, bend the right knee. Sweep that right arm up to the shoulder, or if you're looking for a deeper stretch, continue pressing the left hand down, reaching right fingers up towards the sky. And you can stay with that knee bent, or you can pulse, straightening the leg on an inhale, and as we exhale, bending the knee, coming a little deeper into that stretch. Watch the neck, right? So the shoulders are back, the neck is soft. Inhale, coming up. As we exhale, let the right hand find the block. Take a big breath, find that half lift. And as we exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, sweep left arm to shoulder or maybe up to the sky. Stay here or start pulsing, straightening the left leg. And on the exhale, bending the knee. It's so your choice where you want to be tonight. On the next exhale, let the fingers sweep back down. As we inhale, rise back up. Hands reach all the way to the sky. Exhale, arms extend out from the shoulders. T position. Fingertips reach towards the sky as we press the palms away from us. Breathing here. Big breath in, exhale. Take the fingers down and press the back of the hands away. Getting a nice little stretch for the wrists. And one more time in each direction like that. Inhale, fingers up. Imagine we're pushing the walls away. And exhale down. And then find that reaching to the left, reaching to the right. Turn the left toes to the left. Come out of the waist. And turn the palms towards the sky so the shoulders relax away from the ears. Maybe even a little bend to the elbows to soften here. And then turn the palms back down. Take a big breath in, gaze over the left fingertips and bend the left knee and find Warrior Two pose. As we inhale, sweep the hands up, straighten that leg, hands meet in prayer. As we exhale, float down, Warrior Two. 2 more times like that. Watch that front knee. And the next time we find our Warrior Two, pause. See if you're reaching the right hand back just as much as you're reaching the left fingers forward. 8. Can we come a little bit out of the waist? And can we breathe? Deep breath in. As we exhale, flip that left palm. As we inhale, left fingers reach up, right hand comes down. Peaceful warrior. 2 breaths here. Exhaling through Warrior Two. And let's find that little side bend we did when we were in our goddess. Left forearm on the thigh, right arm up and over. Keep dropping the right hip into extended side angle. And then lift yourself back up, straighten the front leg and lift left fingers towards the sky, right fingers down. Reverse triangle pose. On an exhalation, coming through center and pivoting the arms, going right into a Trikonasana, a triangle. Right fingers towards the sky, left fingers down, or the hand is on the thigh, calf, shin, block, anywhere except the knee. And we're breathing. As we exhale, sweep the right fingers towards the floor. Let the entire torso turn towards the mat. Inhale, lift those fingers back up. 2 more times like that. Rotating the torso. Maybe getting a little bit taller. And then using that right hand to lift us all the way up. Arms out, T position. Just switch the feet. Right feet to the right toes to the right, kick the left heel in. A little bend to the right knee. Find your warrior. Gaze over the right fingertips, and on the next inhale, sweep the arms up, hands meet in prayer. Exhale, float those arms down, gaze over right fingers. 2 more times like that. Slowing it down. Deep breath in. And then reaching back with the left, reaching forward with the right. And finding a place where you can breathe. Flipping that right palm towards the sky. Next inhale, right fingers reach up, left hands down. Peaceful warrior. 2 full breaths here. And then exhaling. Coming into that extended side angle, forearm to the thigh, back arm up and over. Breathing here. Use the left arm to bring you back up, warrior 2, and then straighten that right leg. Right fingers to the sky, left fingers down, reverse triangle pose. Press the feet into the floor, reach down and reach up, big breath in. And as we exhale, coming through to Trikonasana, left fingers up, right fingers down, triangle. Big breath in, adjust the head, right? Look down, look up, and find a place where the neck is long and comfortable. And as we exhale, sweep those left fingers down, gaze at the mat. Inhale, rising back up. 2 more times like that. Let that left hand bring you back up through center, hands to hips, and walk the feet back towards each other. 1 hand to the belly, 1 hand to the heart. Chin to the chest, soften the knees, and breathe. And notice the breath. Maybe you feel the heart beating beneath that palm. Maybe the breath got away from you a little bit. Whatever it is, welcome it all. Start to deepen the breath, slowing things down. And then open the eyes. Let's give those legs a little shake. Give those wrists a little shake. And then let that turn into the entire body shaking, right? Bending the knees, shaking the arms, taking it to one side and then the other. Make little fists and give yourself little taps, going down the side of the legs and up the inside, tapping the back, not on the bone, along the spine, to the shoulders, down the arms. And then take 2 fingers and give yourself little taps around the forehead, around the temple, top of the head, the back. And then close the eyes. And 1 more time. Okay, the movement has stopped, but can you still feel the vibration in the body? That's our prana. Let's open the eyes. Let's come on back down to the mat. Yay! And take the feet nice and wide. Find your strap. Have a block, close spot. Now we're going to start with the legs out. And move the flesh away from the sits bones. And it's a little bit of a forward tilt so that the pelvis is pouring forward. Nice long spine. And just take the arms overhead. If the hamstrings are tight, bend the knees. And as you exhale, simply fold forward, right? If the fingers are really far from the floor, take that block with you, right? And remember, there's no destination here. We're just allowing the head to drop between the arms. We want to keep that long spine, even though we're dropping the head and tucking the chin, and breathing here. And with every exhalation, can you pull the belly in and maybe let the body come a little deeper into the forward fold? And notice if the mind began judging, right? Judging your hamstrings, judging your forward fold. Can you switch that and just be with the breath and the sensation? Inhale to bring yourself up. And as you exhale, just walk the hands over towards the right foot. And we can stay up nice and high here. That you can point the toes or flex them back. Wherever that right hand lands, take the left arm out in front, all the way to the left, up to the sky. Then bend that right elbow and let that left arm come up and over. Make sure the hips keep pressing into the mat, especially that left hip. And breathe into the side stretch. Let the inhalation bring you up. Let the left hand find the left leg. Sweep that right arm up and over. Bend left elbow. Come into the side stretch on the other side. Big breath in. As we exhale, releasing what we can. Let's come on back through center and bring those legs towards each other. And just shake out the toes, shake out the ankles, and then bend the knees. We're going to separate the feet a little bit wider than the hips and let the knees go side to side. Just windshield wiping those knees. And let them drop all the way over to the right. Bring the right palm down, sweep the left arm up. Stay here or lift the hips and extend that left leg out, coming into our half circle. On an exhale, sweep the left fingers behind you. Bicep is by the ear, coming into a stretch. And then exhale, hips down if they're up, and take those knees up and over to the other side. This time the left palm down, sweep the right arm up. Stay here or extend that right leg and lift the hips. Big breath in as you exhale, letting the fingers reach back, bicep by the ear, nice long spine. And maybe turn up the corners of the lips and smile. As we exhale, if the hips are up, they come back down and we come back through center. Bending the right knee and hugging it in towards you. And then maybe stepping the foot over the left leg, maybe not. Right? If it feels really good here, stay here. We're going to come into a twist. Lengthen by hugging that knee in really close. And then take the left arm and wrap it around that right leg. Take the right hand and reach it all the way behind. As we inhale, we lengthen the spine. As we exhale, squeeze the belly and move the shoulders together towards the right. Keep the chin right in between. Don't over twist here. Right? Lengthen on the inhale. Press the sits bones into the mat. As you exhale, start to turn the belly button towards that right thigh. And then use the exhalation to gently move into the twist. As we inhale, come back through center, releasing the twist. Exhale. Turn to the right. 2 more times like that, coming in and out of the twist. And the next time we come into that twist, pause. Take a breath and let the chin glide towards the left shoulder. And as we exhale, as if we're moving through water, let the chin look over the right. Do that 2 more times, just gliding the head with the breath to the left and the right. And the next time that we look towards the left, let the body unwind, uncross that right leg, And bend left knee. Sit up nice and tall. Step the foot over if that feels good. Otherwise, keep it right close to the thigh. And then hug that left leg with the right arm or the hand. Sweep left hand behind. Press the fingers down for support as we lengthen the spine. And on an exhale, start to turn towards the left. So the belly button is pressing towards the thigh. We're lengthening the spine. And we're using the exhalation to find a slightly deeper twist without forcing anything. As we inhale, we gently unwind. As we exhale, we turn to the left. Remember, keep the chin right in between the shoulders. So the movement is initiated by that left shoulder coming forward and back. And then holding here, looking to the left, big breath in. And then taking the chin, looking to the right. And as we exhale, gaze behind. And 2 more times like that, as if we're floating, right? Not forcing anything here, moving with the breath. And the next time that we come towards the center, we let the body unwind. And shake out those legs. We bend those knees and cross the right ankle over the left knee. So one of the most common questions I get, and this is from a few of you, so don't think I'm singling anybody out. I'll get text. What's the pose for sciatica? Right? We are sitting. That's all we're doing. We're sitting, we're working from home, or we're driving. This is one, right? So any of the pigeons, when the knee is bent, because it's too much stretch on the hamstrings. And when you bend the knee, you actually take out some of that slack. So crossing right ankle over left leg, give a little rock from side to side, see how that feels. And you control the stretch with that left foot. The closer it is, the more intense it is. And if we're trying to release some tension, we don't want to overstretch. Let's take that to the other side. Left crosses over right. And you find that place where you can breathe and feel the sensation. Right? And gently rock from side to side. And release the legs back out. Let's find our strap and bring it to the ball of the right foot. For a little Janu Shirsasana, or head to knee pose. Left leg can be out or bend the knee and place the sole of the foot on the right thigh. And then hold close to the foot with the right toes up. And just take a breath here. Sweep the left arm out to the side, up and over that side stretch we did before, but now we have the strap. Right, reaching those fingers up and over and breathing here. As we inhale, come up and pivot and face that right leg and let the left hand find the strap and find a gentle pulsing coming over that leg and back up. So there's a tendency for the left hip to roll off the mat. Keep pressing that down. It's not about how far down we get. It's about the length of the sensation here. Gently pulsing. Chest is pressing forward. The chin is lifted. Nice long spine. And then inhale, coming up. Release that left leg. Let's bring the strap up in front and do some shoulder stretches. Right, so making sure that we have enough space that the arms can come up in a wide V, but that we can still pull the strap. As we inhale, lift the arms above the head. And as we exhale, slowly coming out and down. So don't miss that out part, right? Inhale, rising up. And as we exhale, reaching out in front first, and then letting the hands slowly come down. And 3 more times like that with the breath. Maybe every time we inhale, we come up a little bit more. And next time the arms raise up, pause here and just bend that left elbow. Let the right hand drop down and push the hands in opposite directions. You may need to wrap the strap one more time around the hand to feel that stretch. Breathing. Inhale the arms up and bend right elbow and take the left hand down. Come on up through center and find these big circles, circling and coming back up. So it's almost like a figure 8. And a circle in the other direction. So we normally go to the side that's familiar. So this side might feel a little weird. Inhale the arms up. As we exhale, pivot towards that left foot and let the strap find the ball of the left foot. Maybe bend the right knee out to the side, sole of the foot up against the left thigh. Holding close to the foot, toes are up. Take that right arm out, up and over as we bend the left elbow. Nice and slow coming into the side bend. Like noticing the sensation, noticing if there's a little more space from when we first started. And deep breath in, using the breath. Let the next inhalation bring you up and pivot over the left leg. Bring that strap around the hands. Nice long spine. Exhale, folding over that leg and inhale, coming up. So we're not rounding. Right? We want to keep the chin lifted, the heart pressing forward, and we're not forcing anything. One more time down. Inhale up, unwrap the hands. Bring those legs out front and give them a little shake. We're just going to turn so that we're along the long side of the mat, bending the knees and coming high on the tippy toes. So for this next posture, Navasana, the boat, you decide where you want to be tonight, okay? We can stay here, toes on the ground, hugging the knees, nice long spine. If you need a little support, maybe bringing the hands to the thighs or behind you, right? Just engaging the abs. If anyone's feeling really fiery, maybe lifting the toes off the mat, maybe letting the arms come up. So that's your choice. So if bringing the legs up or the arms up make you fall back, make those adjustments, right? Drop the toes back down or hold the thighs. And just take 3 deep breaths here. We can do anything for 3 breaths. As we inhale, maybe getting a little taller. With every exhale, squeezing that belly to protect the lower back. 2 more like that. Be okay with any shaking, right? Notice if there's a little bit of irritation here. And can you turn this into your curl? 1 more breath. And as we exhale, let the feet come to the mat. Bring the hands to the legs and slowly lower down onto the back. And take a moment here. Take the feet out as wide as the mat with the knees bent. And let the knees rest on each other and the thighs rest on each other. And then give yourself a hug, right? Reaching for the shoulders, the arms crossed, tuck the chin, close the eyes. Constructive rest pose. And with every exhale, press the lower back into the mat. With every inhale, feel the prana. Feel the body. On the next inhalation, just let the arms reach up towards the sky and switch the cross. So whatever arm was on top, let that be the arm on the bottom and come back to that hug. Let the eyes gently close and take a few breaths here. Just breathing in our constructive rest pose. Just feeling the effect of the standing practice on the body. Returning to the breath. We're not done yet. but we're beginning to slow the practice down. On the next inhale, lift the knees up. As we exhale, hug those knees into the chest and find a gentle rocking from side to side, massaging the lower back. And then hug that right knee in and let the left leg just float down to the mat. As you hug the right knee in, maybe holding below the knee or behind the knee, press the entire spine into the mat. Coming into wind liberating pose. This little opposing pulling and kicking through the opposite foot, right? Creating that stretch, breathing. And as we exhale, let's just switch. Left knee comes in, right leg relaxes down on the mat. As you pull the left knee in, take the right toes up towards the sky and press through the right heel. Take a breath, entire spine presses into the mat, so the shoulders are down on the mat too. And we're breathing, gazes at the heart. And release, both legs out. Point the toes, interlace the fingers, flip the palms above the head, press the palms away. Take a great big stretch, and as we exhale, hug the knees into the chest. So this is another one that will release the tightness in the hamstrings, right? Any of the poses where the knees are bent. And then reach the toes up towards the sky. Separate the legs like a V and cross the right leg over the left and bend the knees. So if anyone's familiar with Gomukhasana or cow face pose, this is the same with the legs, but it's a lot easier to do down on the back. Then see if you can hold on to either the knees, maybe slide the hands to the shins or the ankles and pull those knees down towards the body, creating this compression, and breathe. Notice where you feel the stretch. And on an exhale, releasing. Inhale, opening the legs up and just crossing that so that the opposite leg is on top. Bend the knees. You might notice this side's a little harder to pull the legs in. Or maybe there's a little more space. And just breathe here. So the feet are like little bows, little Christmas bows, right? They're coming out and they're coming down. And you'll feel that stretch a little bit more on the leg that's on top. Big breath in, and as we exhale, let the feet come down to the mat, as wide as the mat. Let the arms come out, T position, and gently windshield wipe those knees from side to side. Maybe the head turns in the opposite direction. Your choice. If that feels good, getting a little massage to the back of the head. And when the knees drop to the right, pause here and see what the body would like. So palms down for support, shoulders resting on the mat. If you want a deeper stretch, you take the right foot and you place it on the left thigh. If that's too much, keep those both feet on the mat. Maybe even separate the feet a little bit more. And just breathe here. If that right foot is crossed over the left leg, let's release that. Bring the knees up through center and over to the other side. Pause here. Right? Notice if this is enough. If you want a little bit more, lift that left foot up and place it on the right thigh. So you don't want it on the knee. You never want to put pressure on the knee. Maybe scooch that right foot away. And breathe. Let's come on back through center, releasing that, and walk the feet hip width apart. Take the arms alongside the body, palms down. Press into the feet, and gently start to lift the hips. So imagining that the spine is a strand of pearls, and you're lifting one pearl at a time. As you press the palms and the forearms into the mat, you start to lift up. And as we exhale, we slowly release back down. Same thing, one vertebrae at a time. Let the lower back touch before the tailbone. Floating bridge. 3 breaths like that. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, releasing back down. Inhale, nice and slow. Notice if there's any part of this movement that you want to rush through. And see if you can ask your body to be patient and go nice and slow. The next time that the hips lift, your choice. Come into a traditional bridge. Maybe taking the hands to the hips if that's accessible, supporting the body, or taking that block and placing it under the sacrum. That's a beautiful option. And I would pick a low setting for this, right? For a restorative bridge. And if you pick the restorative bridge, let the palms turn up towards the sky instead of pressing into the mat. And notice how that releases the shoulders. And breathe here. Let the belly relax. Let the belly become soft. With every exhalation, can you settle into the support of the block beneath you? 2 more breaths. And then see if it would feel good on the next exhale to bend the knees and lift the feet off the mat. So the knees are directly over the hips, maybe even reaching the toes up towards the sky, coming into a supported half shoulder stand. And again, letting the breath be deep, just noticing the sensation in the body. As we take this gentle inversion, maybe it would feel good to wiggle the toes or make little circles, releasing the ankles. And nice and slow on an exhale, bending the knees, letting the feet come back to the mat, lifting the hips, removing the block, and slowly coming back down to the mat. Let's take the feet out nice and wide and drop the knees and the thighs on each other one more time, coming into that constructive rest pose. Breathing here. And then separating the knees, walking the feet hip width apart. Take the right ankle over the left leg, coming into figure 4 or at pigeon on our back. Gently press into the right thigh, creating a little space, and stay here or lift the left leg up, interlace the fingers, and pull that left leg close as you push the right knee away with the right elbow. So your choice. You can stay with the left foot on the mat if that's enough sensation for your body. Breathing here. So we never want the poses to get in the way of our yoga, right? Let's release that down and take that to the other side. Right foot presses into the mat, left ankle crosses just below the right knee. A little press to that left thigh. And then if you'd like, lift that right leg up and hold the right thigh behind the right thigh as you pull the right leg in. Push the left knee away with the left elbow. And breathe. So deep, deep breaths. And very gently releasing out of that and seeing if there's any other movement that the body would like. How about a happy baby? Right? Maybe bending the knees out to the side, holding the inside or outside of the feet. Taking the next few minutes to move your body in any way that feels good. Right? Letting the body lead the practice. if you're doing something that's two-sided, make sure you do both sides. And when you're ready to come into relaxation, finding your way into a comfortable position, maybe putting on socks or a blanket to cover you. Now watch the screen to see when the movement stops. And as we begin to slow down the practice, slowing down the breath, and just seeing if there's anything else that the body needs before being comfortable in our relaxation. So letting those eyes close, maybe bending the knees to release the lower back or placing a cushion behind the knees. And then let everything go. Feel the floor beneath you. Notice the body breathing. And notice if there were any pearls that we created in our practice tonight. Any moments of brilliance and sparkles. Take a big breath into the belly. Let the mouth open and just sigh it out. I'm going to move into a little bit of box breathing. Right, so in the box breathing, we imagine that the breath is moving up the left side of the body on the inhalation. Slight hold at the top as it moves from left to right. We exhale down the right side of the body. And a slight pause as we move the breath from the left to the right. Inhale up the right. A hold, noticing how the body feels full as the breath moves over to the left side as we exhale down the left side of the body. With a slight retention with the breath out, moving from the left to the right. And now following your breath and maybe adding a count to 4 on the inhale, 2 on the hold as we move from left to right. Exhale the same amount, maybe 4 on the exhalation down that right side. And then holding out the breath for a count of 2 as we move from right to left. So finding a number that works for you. Breathing the breath in, noticing how the body feels when it's full of breath. Breathing the breath out. And noticing how the body feels when it's empty. And imagining a beautiful light and letting that breath ride on that light, creating that box. As we breathe in and we breathe out. And the next time we imagine the breath moving at the end of that exhalation from the right to the left, release the breath, the box breath, and return to your natural breath. Just noticing the breath like a beautiful wave washing over the body. Inhaling and exhaling. Noticing its rhythm, its depth, the sweetness of that breath as it enters. That surrender on the exhalation. Let every exhalation relax the body a little deeper, feeling the back body resting on the floor, feeling the front body expansive and opening to the sky. Begin to relax all the muscles of the face, the jaw, the tongue, the teeth, relaxing the cheeks, space around the nostrils and the eyes. Relax the eyelids and the little corners of the eyes, the forehead, the back of the head and the scalp, the neck and the throat, the shoulders and shoulder blades. Relaxing the arms, upper arms and elbows, forearms, wrists and hands and fingers. Shoulders, chest and upper back, middle back and waist, lower back and belly. Sides of the torso, seat muscles, hips, thighs, knees, calves and shins, ankles, feet, and all 10 toes. And just breathing, allowing the body to breathe the breath and the breath to breathe the body. I acknowledge any irritation showing up on my path and embrace it fully. I trust that by choosing to engage with an aggravation, I will gradually create beauty. I study my own internal triggers as channels for growth. So beginning to deepen the breath and bring some gentle movement back to the body, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, rocking head side to side. If it feels good, a big stretch, like we're just waking up and rolling to one side and finding a fetal position for a breath or two as we make our way back. And just noticing the effect of the practice on the body, on the mind, on the breath, and the thoughts. And whatever it is, send some gratitude to your body for the way it carried you through class tonight. When you're ready, gently pressing to any comfortable seat, joining the hands at the heart and bowing to the heart. Thanking yourself for coming, taking the time, right? Just carving out this space is so important, especially now. Thanking the others for sharing. And I want you to imagine a beautiful light at the heart center and extending this light out and connecting to everyone that's practicing here with us, to those that will practice later on the recording. I just want to thank you guys for continuing to come, to show up, and allowing me to guide you and be part of your journey. Namaste. In the Kripalu tradition, we say Jai Bhagwan.